Hey there, BookTube. Welcome back to my channel. We are back for day 6 of #Decamerama. We are reading The Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. On day 6, Alyssa is queen, and she's decided that the next stories will be of people using their wit to escape dangerous situations. These stories are pretty short. They're not even really stories. But the first one is by Philomena. It's about a knight who offers a woman a ride on his horse and starts telling her stories to keep her entertained. But he's telling them so badly that she says, "Sir, please put me down because your horse has too hard a trot." And he understands what that means, so he does a better job at the storytelling afterwards. The next story is about a rich baker who has some good wine that he wants to share with a host and some representatives from the Pope. But he doesn't want to overstep his social position, so he puts out this table and invites them to come by for a taste. Then, when the host has a party and asks the baker to send a little bit of wine, he refuses. So the host asks him for a lot of wine, and then he gives him an entire cask full of wine. Two men are riding through the town. One is a bishop and one is a marshal. Sometime before, the marshal had agreed to pay a man for the privilege of sleeping with his wife, but paid him with counterfeit money after the deed was done. The bishop is a relative of the injured woman, and while these two men are riding through the town, they spot a newlywed woman, and the bishop asks that woman if she fancies the marshal, and she replies that any relationship between the two of them is quite unlikely, but she would want to be paid with good money if it happened. Ashamed and silenced, the two men ride away. A man named Chichibio gives his chef a crane to cook, but the chef removes one of the legs to give a woman that he likes before serving the meal. The master, Chichibio, is upset, but the chef tries to convince him that cranes usually only have one leg, so Chichibio insists that the chef prove it. The next day, the chef takes him to a place where there are cranes sleeping, as they usually do, perched on one leg. When Chichibio calls out, the cranes wake up and put the other leg down, but the chef insists that if he had done the same thing to the bird he served him the night before, he would have had the same result. Two men are riding through the woods. One is an accomplished lawyer and the other is a skilled artist. But as they're traveling, they get caught in a storm and they have to change into these old clothes that they find in a cabin. As they ride, they mock each other that if anyone could see them now, they wouldn't believe the skill that they each possess. A man is trying to prove that the Bianchi family, though noble, is not good looking. And he says that he can prove that they are indeed the oldest family in Florence because their features show that they were painted before God really perfected his art. And so they must be the oldest family around. In the city of Prado, the law allows for a woman caught in adultery to be burned at the stake. So when a husband finds his wife with another man, he has her charged. However, when the woman appears in court, she says that the law doesn't apply to her because she has a stronger appetite than her husband and she's never refused him. So they ask the husband if he's ever been dissatisfied and he says no. And she says, "Well, I have no choice but to go elsewhere." And the judge agrees and drops the charges. Then we have a young girl who is repulsed by everyone and everything she sees, so that she makes up her face when passing other people. However, her uncle tells her that if she dislikes the sight of disagreeable people, that she shouldn't look in the mirror, but she's too foolish to understand what he means. And so she keeps looking in the mirror anyway. A group of men try to bully an epicurean and they chase him into a graveyard. But when he's escaping, he shouts out to them that they can say whatever they want because they're in their own house. Only later do they understand that he's saying that because of their ideas, they are actually dead to him. Aeneas tells a story about a priest who promises his congregation that in exchange for them bringing their alms, he will show them a feather from when the angel Gabriel visited Mary to announce the birth of Jesus. However, a couple of pranksters know that the priest has no such feather, and they steal the parrot's feather that he was planning to use as his prop and replace it with some lumps of coal. When the congregation is assembled and the priest finds that the feather is missing and he has lumps of coal instead, he makes up another story that the coal is from the martyrdom of some other saint and that it is actually God's plan that he brought that relic today instead of the one he promised. And the people believe him. And that's it. That is Dioneo's story. And on day 7, Dioneo will be king. So we expect a raunchy theme from him. I hope you'll come back when I wrap up those stories. So thanks for watching this video. Leave me a comment down below if you're enjoying these stories as much as I am. So we'll talk down there. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.